In this lesson, we'll work with multi-page documents in InDesign. A multi-page document is like a book or a magazine where you have pages that face each other. That's what we call facing pages. And those pages make up a spread where you have a left page and a right page. Let's see how we set this up in InDesign. Start InDesign and click Create New. Okay, we're going to choose Print and Letter just to make sure we've got the right size. And we're going to add a few more things on the other side. We already know about facing pages. We're also going to put columns because we want to have grid lines for columns to organize the elements on our page. So that's going to be 4. We're going to open up margins and we're going to change the top margin to 6. Okay, and remember, if we do that, it changes all of them because they're linked. So click the link button to unlink them. And we'll change the inside one to 2. The bottom we're going to change to 3, and the outside one is 4. And then click Create. Okay, let's get our Pages panel. So this is what our page looks like. It has a grid of 4 columns on it. It's got some space at top, side, and bottom, and less space over on the left side right now. If we look at the Pages panel, so when you see your first page, page 1 over here in the Pages panel, it's actually a right-hand page. And we can tell because there's a line there, which is the center when you have 2 pages next to each other. Let's double-click on the A Parent page and make that small enough so we can see both of them. So this is the 2 pages together, the left-hand page, right-hand page. Okay, the first page is always a right-hand page because right-hand pages always are odd numbered. So page 1, 3, 5, and so forth will be right-hand pages, and pages 2, 4, 6, and so on will be left-hand pages. We're going to set up a few things on the parent pages. Before we start actually placing things on pages, first we'll pick the Picture Frame tool, and we're going to make a frame that covers the whole right-hand page. And we'll zoom in a little bit here. Okay, now we're going to take a guide from the top ruler and drop it down at about 20 picas, 3 points. We don't get it exactly. We can select the guide with the selection tool and adjust it in the Properties panel. So I want 20p3. And then I'm going to go get the picture frame again, and I'm going to draw a smaller rectangle frame from the edge of the page to the second column. So from here to there, and it's going to be 19p tall. And again, if I don't get it quite right, I can come over to the Properties panel and change it there. So the height is supposed to be 19p0. Actually, wait, one more thing. This needs to be a little wider. It should be touching that column guide there. And then I'm going to make an even smaller picture frame below that in the second column. And it should be about 1 pica below the other box. I think we'll put it at 41p. Okay, now I'm going to draw a text frame. So I'll get the text tool. I'm going to start slightly above the guide. And I'm going to draw a text frame that covers 2 columns and goes to the bottom margin. If I switch to my selection tool, I can also see its measurements. So it should be 27p0 and 22p0 wide and 45p0. I want to slide it up so that the bottom edge sits on the margin. I'm going to draw another text frame underneath the smaller picture box. And that one I want to be 15p6, 48p6, 10p6, and 10p0. I'm going to move over to the lower right-hand corner and make one more text box, text tool in the last column here. And we'll check the measurements on it. Should be 87p6 is the X. 48p0 for Y, 10p6, and 14p0. Now that I have my parent pages set up, I'm going to take the parent pages and drag them below page 1. And now I'll see that these look just like the things I set up, but I'm on page 2 and 3 because those are the ones that are highlighted. We're going to add some content to our pages, and we'll start with some text in the text box. We'll go to File and choose Place, or we can press Command D or Control D. And we're going to make sure we're in the accordion folder from the downloads and pick main.doc. And you can click open or you can just double click. Now you have the thumbnail of the text. You just click it right on the text box and you'll see the text. The first thing we're going to do is select all the text. Click a whole bunch of times in the text box, or you can click once in the text box and then go to the edit menu and choose select all, or just do Command or Control A. Now, when InDesign puts text on the page, it uses some default settings. So let's switch to the Properties panel. It usually puts 12 point as the size, and then this 14.4 as the leading, and it's in parentheses. So when it's in parentheses, that means it's an automatic number, and as we change this number to say 15, the other number will get bigger as well. As a designer, you want to have more control than that, so it's better to remove the auto setting and just type in what you want. So I want to have 12 point here for the size again, but I want to have 14 for the leading. So I'll just type in 14. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in so I can see the text better. And I just want to pick the top line. I'm going to change my font to Tahoma bold, and I'm going to change the size to 18. And then I want to save this in a way that I can reuse it again in another place. So that's called making it a style. And I need to go to the window menu and get my styles, character styles panel open. So it's similar to when we made new colors. So you're going to click up on the right hand corner and choose new character style. If you look at the settings, it's all the things we just picked: Tahoma bold, 18 point and 14 point leading. We're going to give it a name. We're going to call this one upper, and you want to make sure that the check mark on for apply styles is there, and then click OK. And it adds upper title to your character style list. Then we're going to select the next line, which is just the word accordion. Okay, we're going to change this to 64 and 6, and we can't see it. The reason we can't see it is it's too big for the box right now, but we'll fix that in a second. But I want to change the leading to 60 while I'm here. And then I'm going to move down to the tracking setting there and change that to -25. And now it fits. And I forgot to change the font. So let's go back and make sure that's also Tahoma. And it's going to be regular this time. And we'll make this into a style as well, so we can use it on another page. New character style, and this one we'll call title. And then I want to select the little mini paragraph or a couple sentences that's below the title. Okay, and this one is going to be Tahoma regular, 14 point size, and 18 point leading. And make it into a style, which we'll call subtitle, and click OK. Okay, for the author's name, I'm going to do a little bit of different things here. I'm going to still change the font to Tahoma bold. And I'm going to use the 2 big T's to make it all uppercase. And then I'm going to add some space. So everything we've done so far is in the character part of the settings. I'm going to go down to the paragraph part, and I want to put space before, which is this box here. I'm going to put 0.6, which moves the author's name down slightly. Okay, since this is in the paragraphs area, when I make the new style for it, I want to make it as a paragraph style. But it works the same way. You go new paragraph style, give it a name, make sure that apply style is checked, and click OK. Then I want to select the first paragraph of the text, so you can do that by dragging like this, or you can go click 4 times and you'll get a paragraph. Okay, I want more space between the author's name and this paragraph, so that's definitely a paragraph setting. That's going to be space before again, but this time it'll be 2 picas. And I want to make the very first letter of the paragraph big. Okay, that's called a drop cap. It's down here, and I'm going to click 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, so the number in this box is how many lines tall that letter is. And then I'll save this style. This will be called first paragraph. And then I just need to pick all the rest of the text and give it one little indent so we see where the paragraphs are. So an indent is this one here, and it's going to be 1P0, like that. And this one we'll just call regular. So now we have some nicely formatted text, and more importantly, we've saved all the formatting so that we can reuse it. Okay, I'm going to add some text captions in the text boxes. Is underneath the picture here, the little picture on this page, and in the lower corner of the other page. So we'll get those by doing Command or Control D, caption 1, double click, and then you have the text thumbnail. You click on the box there, and that's the first caption. Okay, we're going to select all of it, change it to Tehama, bold, 11 point, 14 point leading. I want to pick a different alignment. So this is a left alignment. We're going to pick right alignment, which means all the lines line up on the right side, but they end wherever on the left side. Okay, let's make this into a paragraph style. We'll call it caption. Then we'll move over to here, and we will do Command or Control D and get caption 2. And we're going to drop it in this box, pick the whole thing, and all we need to do is click on caption, and it does all the formatting for us. We're going to add some pictures or photographs to our pages. But first, let's take a look at photographs, and we'll notice that often a large picture contains a lot of content we can use in different ways. So inside a large picture, we may find smaller scenes that we can crop and use as individual pictures on our pages. And you can even take a small detail from a photograph and make it a very large picture in your InDesign document. Let's look at this photograph that we'll be using for the accordion article. If we crop it so that we just see the fountain statue, we get one image. And then if we crop it so that we just see the accordion player, we get another image. Or if we crop it to just see a detail of a texture or pattern, we get another image again. Each of these can be used in different ways on your magazine page. And we'll add the accordion pictures to these pages here. So we'll do Command or Control D. We'll get our accordion.jpg picture, double click on that, and then we are going to start with the large picture frame on the right-hand page. So click the thumbnail on that picture frame, and it fills the frame. It's close to what we want. We want to use the fountain sculpture, but we want to see a bit more of it, and we want to move it over a little bit. So let's make it smaller first. We're going to zoom out so that we can see the edge. Brown orange line is the edge of my frame, and I'm going to hold the Shift key and shrink it down, and then I'll slide it over so that I see what I want. Okay. Just by taking part of the picture, I have a whole different relationship to the image when we saw the complete photograph. Command or Control D, get the picture again, and this time I'm going to drop it onto the medium size picture frame on the left-hand page. And this time I'm going to have to move it a lot because I want to get the accordion player over here. Okay, so even though these are from the same photograph, they appear to be two completely different images when we crop pieces and place them in different places on our page. Right, so I have one more picture frame down there, and my Command or Control D, double click accordion JPEG, and click it on there. Right. So this time I want to get the tiled pattern fitting in that smallest box. To keep everything harmonious throughout our design, we will also take our colors from the photograph as well. So that way each part of our composition is connected to the photograph either through the cropping or through the colors. Get the top line of text, pick our eyedropper. I want to pick one of these sort of tan colors from the fountain. I want to save that though, so let's highlight that again. We'll get our swatches panel there, and the color we're looking at right now is in the T swatch at the top. I want to save it, so I'm just going to drag it down and drop it in our panel. And I'm going to also use that color on the text underneath the title. So I just select that and click on that color. For the word accordion, the title, I'm going to use a blue from the accordion picture. And I want to save that also. So we're just going to drag that down and drop it right there. Okay, if I don't like the color, like I think the blue might be darker, I can click it and put in the trash can. Click the word again, get the eyedropper again, and look for a better color. Okay, so this is completed. At this point, we want to get rid of the guides and the frame lines. So we're going to go to View, and we're going to go to Screen Mode, Preview. Take a look at it. Unfortunately, my screen's a little small, so I can't see the whole thing at once. I'll go really little, like that. And you can see it looks like a very professional magazine layout. And when you see it at this size, the caption text looks like gray bars because the zoom level is so small that it can't draw the letters for the captions, but they're there. We zoom back up, you'll see them. Great. We're going to continue our magazine layout by adding another spread. So a spread is 2 pages together. And we'll pick a parent and drag it down below page 2 and 3. And now we have page 4 and 5. Remember, we need to see the guides. So we're going to go back to View and change our screen mode to normal. And we're going to do the same process on this page, but you'll find that it's going to go a lot quicker because we saved all of our style settings. And all we need to do is apply them to the new text. So the first thing we'll do is get our text. So we're going to go Command or Control D. And this text is going to be in the wine folder, main.doc. Just click it here. Okay, we're going to grab the text tool, select the top line. Okay, we need to see our styles panel, and this is our upper title. And then we select the next line, and that's our title, and then we select the next sentence, and that's our subtitle, and we select the author's name, switch to paragraph styles, and pick author. We're going to select the first paragraph, which is actually quite long on this article, and that's going to be a first paragraph, and we're going to select the remaining text, and that's a regular paragraph. We just formatted all of the text. All right, really quickly because we have all those styles. We have to remember to get the captions as well. So we'll do a Command D, double click caption 1, and click on this caption box. Select all of it, click caption. Okay, go over to the other page, Command D, caption 2, click on that box, select all of it, and click caption. Okay, so we have just formatted all of the text. So if you had multiple articles and more pages to add, you can see this is a very efficient, and not just efficient, but a very accurate way to do it. If you had to do each of these by hand, you would probably forget something somewhere. So you would have little inconsistencies from page to page. And this makes your work both quicker and better. And let's zoom in on the title area first. We have a little problem where the Y in Twomey touches incredible and makes it hard to read. Okay, so we're going to make an adjustment here that isn't part of the style, so it won't affect anything on any other pages. It'll just be for this one instance. So we're going to go select Twomey and go to Property, and we're going to add a little bit space after, which is this guy here, so that it moves the next piece of text down. So now it looks much better. It's easier to read. We're also going to use one large picture in different ways to fill out our layout for the winemaker article. Let's take a look and see how we can find smaller pictures inside our large photograph. If we look at our large winemaker picture, we're going to actually crop in very close on a small area of the wine glass, which we'll then use really large on the right-hand page. We'll use the portrait of the winemaker himself in the medium-sized box, and then we'll use a smaller detail of the wine labels in the smallest box. So we'll start with the biggest picture, which is the wine glass. So we're going to Command D and double click on wine. And we'll click the thumbnail of our picture on this large box. And then we're going to move it over so that we see the wine glass. And then we're going to get the same picture again, Command or Control D, double click on wine, and drop it on the medium box. Slide it over so that we see the winemaker. It needs to be a lot smaller. Try 30. So this looks good. It's also kind of nice that he's facing this way, so it's like he's looking across at the wine glass. He's looking into the text. He's kind of helping our readers see what's important. We'll deselect that, and we'll do Command or Control D one more time. Get wine again, and drop it on the tiny box. And they're a little big, so we'll go down to 75%. So we've got the photographs, and we've got the text. All we need to do now is add our colors from the pictures into the text, and we'll be finished. So we're going to get the text tool and pick the first line. We'll get the eyedropper. I'm going to use one with dark red from one of the labels. And I want to save it, so we're going to go get our swatches and drag this down into the swatch list. And if you remember on the accordion page, I also use the color from the top line in subtitle here. So we're going to pick that and pick our dark red. On this page, I'm going to leave the title black because there's a lot of black in the picture, so it relates to that, and it also has really good contrast to the red color. Other things that we could do, maybe to make it a little more vibrant, is we could take the drop cap and give it a bit of red as well. That makes it stand out nicely. If we want to be consistent, then we should also go back to our other page and do the same with our O, which would then be the gray color. Okay, so when we're done, we're going to go to View, go to Preview, Screen Mode, and Preview, and we'll see how our pages look. Oh, wait, there was one more thing. Sorry. We want to go look at the caption on this page here, which isn't too bad. I mean, you can read the black text on the picture background pretty well, but it might be a little easier to read it if it was white. So let's go to our swatches panel, and there's no white here. In InDesign, instead of white, we have paper, because paper is usually considered to be a white or light color. And for any kind of printed design, you always print color on lighter paper, right? So white is not a color that's printed. It's basically the space that's not used. So we'll just pick paper there, and that will turn it white for us. And it's a little easier to read now. And because it has better contrast with the picture. So there we are with our finished layouts.